Hello, Taurus. I'm just adjusting my camera. It's really interesting to me how the energy spills over from one reading to the next. Now, you're typically known as being like the Hierophant card in the tarot, somebody in a position of power, King of Pentacles. And it's funny that Aries had this energy that's where almost like I don't know. There's a bit of interplay between Aries and Taurus. They had this reading where it was like they were breaking the mold. The way it was coming through to me was like Aries was going to university. They were going to do a course that was, typically perhaps restricted or associated with a certain demographic of people. They didn't match that demographic, but they had the smarts, they had the talent, they had the skill. They'd impressed people, and they were getting on that course. And it's like they had this feeling of, I don't know if I should be here. I don't know if this is. It doesn't feel like I fit with this environment. And the whole point was like, well, break that mold, change the environment, and then people will see you doing that and they will follow you. So there was this brilliant kind of like standing up energy. And then when I randomized a song for you, Taurus, you got a song called by Pulp called Misshapes. I mean, it talks about we it's got that kind of energy of we've been suppressed, we've been repressed, we've been told that these things aren't for us. We're going to stand up, and we're going to use the one thing that we've got more of, and that's our minds. So it does have this energy of like playing the establishment at their own game, but it's coming through with your reading, Taurus. And it got me thinking about some Taurians that I know, Taurians that I've worked with, who have worked very, very hard to get to where they are. And there's certainly not by any means the established view, right? The established minority of people who run things, not minority, that's the wrong word. The privileged people who get things handed to them on a plate. The Taurians I know certainly came from very, very humble or modest backgrounds, and worked extremely hard, like very, very hard, to really prove themselves and to get to, wherever they got to. So perhaps it is your energy too. Perhaps you're not the Hierophant in this situation. Perhaps you're also like Aries, breaking molds and changing things for the better, opening up opportunities for more people. So it's just funny that there's that spillover between the two readings. But let's see what the cards say. So Taurus Tuesday, what's going on for Taurus Tuesday? Companionship, animals. Okay, perhaps you work with animals, perhaps you are getting a new pet, perhaps you have a lot of animals around you, perhaps you're a bit of a Dr. Dolittle. This always gives me like, I mean, it's Frida Kahlo, right? But it always gives me, or she's very Frida Kahlo like, but it does give me like somebody who's a bit of a Dr. Dolittle. Maybe you're vegetarian, vegan, maybe you really care about the rights of animals. Perhaps you have a natural ability with animals. You're the person who the cats always come over and sit on, that kind of thing. Look at this as well, groundedness, gravity, with all the animals around. So absolutely animals, surrounded by animals. Perhaps you live in a place where you're surrounded by nature. Perhaps animals are like uplift your spirit. Okay, so different message starting to come through, I think, but we'll see where this goes. So it's funny, this is literally like an animals deck. It's like Divine Animals Oracle. These 3 decks I'm initially using are all by Stacey DeMarco. Oh, something flipped and went back in. I didn't see what it was. Taurus Tuesday, please. Taurus Tuesday. Songlines, Orca. So perhaps you have like animal spirit guides. Perhaps you dream about animals a lot. Perhaps you feel like perhaps you have ancestors that you associate with different animals, or it's coming through as like ancestry and like ancestors visiting you in your dreams as animals. So it's almost like perhaps you. So I'm not quite getting it. So I'm just checking in with the message. For me, I just looked at this little canary, which reminds me of, yeah, okay, so like the canary kind of reminds me of my nana. My nana used to have canaries, and then I looked at the canary and was going to say robin, and then she has actually got a robin here to her right, so like a robin perhaps reminds you of a grandparent, perhaps, you know, like certain people are associated with different animals for you. So I'm just thinking about this program that I watched that was all about kind of like psychics and mediums and this kind of thing. And there was these older women, I think they were sisters, and they associated a certain bird with their mother. I think it was like a blue bird of some kind, a cardinal. It was a cardinal, which I don't think is blue, but maybe they are. I don't know. I always think of cardinals as being red. But it was a cardinal. I can't remember what colour it was. And they were out in the garden, and this cardinal came and landed on one of them and just wouldn't get off them, and they even tried to like put it on a tree, and it just immediately flew back onto her. And they'd asked for a sign. They said, you know, when my mother passes away, you know, send me a cardinal as a sign. And this cardinal was just refusing to leave this woman's side for several minutes, you know, even though they were trying to, you know, put it back on the tree. So I feel like there could be something going on with that for you. It's funny because my a couple of people in my family I associate with elephants. My mum loves elephants. She used to have like everybody would always give her a gift, and it would always be an elephant statue. So she'd always have all these elephants all over her shelves. So I already had this like ancestry elephant thing. And then my dad told me the other day, and we were looking at pictures, and there was one of him that I love where he's on the beach walking his dog, and it's just such a beautiful image, but his shoulders are very hunched over. And he said to me, oh, I really don't like that image. He grew up in Africa, and he said the people in the village would always tease my dad and call him like the man who walks like an elephant. And so now like I have that association with my grandpa and elephants. So I feel like there could be something similar for you where, you know, it's almost like you're thinking, am I going crazy here? Is this, I feel like this is like a message from that ancestor. You know, it doesn't feel quite believable. Maybe like again, like spirit guides coming through in your dreams. And swan and beauty. So she's blindfolded. So you have this thing about perhaps like trusting your intuition, or perhaps even like, perhaps some of you, there could be something with your sight. You know, perhaps some of you have sight issues. Perhaps some of you are registered as being blind, and you have perhaps a guide dog, or somebody around you does. There's something coming through about being very trusting with animals, or being very gentle with animals, that perhaps, you know, like wild animals it could just be one. It could be like a one-off incident where this wild animal comes over and kind of eats out of your hand, or curls up in your arms perhaps, and you're like, these animals aren't meant to be tamed. They're not meant to do this. Like, why is this happening? Okay, more for Taurus, please. More for Taurus. I didn't get you any words. I need to get you some words out. Perhaps I should do that now. Perhaps there's a reason why we waited until this point in the reading. So can I get some words for Taurus, please? We're doing Taurus Tuesday. This feels like a very different message now. Maybe that song was for Aries. I'll put it in Aries' reading, but this feels like a very different story. It could be like childhood, like as well. Perhaps when you were a child, you know, perhaps you would see like maybe like even like a ghost animal or something, or like you'd had a very, very vivid dream about an animal, and it's like it's becoming relevant again. Carry. So perhaps this is an animal that you carried, or you could just notice she's got a fox in her arms, or like an animal that carried you. Perhaps you had like, I think maybe like a childhood horse that used to like carry you on its back, but it's like it's for some reason it's becoming relevant again. Carry away. So perhaps there's something where an animal was carried away from you, or an animal carried you away. You know, perhaps you were on a donkey ride and the donkey got loose and carried you away. You know, you were having horse riding lessons, the horse galloped away, whether this is a dream or a reality. Carried away. So maybe somebody got carried away with an animal. Symphony. That's funny. Again, Aries had a lot of stuff about playing music. Symphony. It's giving me like unfinished symphony. Again, with song lines. Maybe somebody's like writing a song and they've not finished the song. Maybe somebody's writing a song for a certain person. Maybe somebody is a songwriter. It's giving me like bittersweet symphony as well by the Verve. A bittersweet symphony, that's life. When what? Why is when here? When will you finish your symphony? When will you finish your masterpiece? Oh, I've dropped that. What is that? I can't pick it up. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Vintage. Maybe when you're old, right? When it's vintage, when it becomes retro, when it becomes cool again. Symphony, carried away, symphony when vintage. Okay, tell me what else, please. Tell me what else, please. What else do I need to know? Supermoon, attraction. So perhaps you're doing like law of attraction. And thundermoon, change. What's a thundermoon? That sounds cool. Action. So action's come out 3 times. It came out in the test reading that I did. It came out, I think, in the underlying, I don't know if it was like one of the main cards that I brought up, but I definitely spotted it in Aries' reading. And now it's in your underlying as well. I feel like action's being taken. Beauty, groundedness and action on your underlying there. So I'm looking at this and how she's kind of got her feet up against it as well, like her arms and her feet up against that moon, or it's like a big egg. It's like you're pushing through change. So there's a change that you're pushing through. I heard it means a lot to you. If that's for you, it means a lot to you, which is why you're pushing it through. Some of you are using the law of attraction. So there's a push and pull here. So some of you are trying to push something through, or push something back, or push something forward. And some of you are trying to attract something to you. So this is push and pull. Like seagulls as well. Like seagulls could be meaningful for you. Seaside, something like this. I feel very drawn to read this card. I'm trying not to do that too much in this set of readings. I'm trying to do quick readings. I always say that and I always fail. But 30, 21, 44 and 35 may be meaningful to you. But yeah, for some reason this one really wants to be read. So Taurus, accept change. Life, like the seasons, is about to change. Take advantage of change energy and plan ahead. I welcome change and I ride its energy. So if you've been resisting something, I feel like see the opportunity in the change rather than trying to resist it. Attract new opportunities to you, because when there's change, there's opportunity. As one door shuts, another door opens. So one of the great truths in life is that change is constant. It is unavoidable and we can resist all we want, but nothing truly stays the same. It's better then to prepare and even direct change by setting intentions and building our personal power from the inside out. Seasonally, there are times of the year that have at their essence a profound sense of change, usually on the shoulder seasons of autumn and spring. It is at these times of the year that we can feel more easily the shift between one season and another. In autumn, it's interesting because we're just passing through summer into autumn now. In autumn, the nights grew longer and there is a chill when darkness falls that wasn't just there weeks before. It's funny that it's saying that it's gone extremely hot today. The breeze that blows is no longer balmy. The birds we have been watching all summer seem to have packed up and left. Interesting, because I picked up on the birds here as well. And in their place are new species appear to strut their stuff. We begin to dress with more layers and we may even hunger for different foods. All these are signals of change. In spring, it's all about waking up and warming up, and the opposite happens. All these are signals of change. This moon shines down upon the winds of change, the clearing storms, the electric crackle of lightning, and the boom of thunder echoing across the valley. There is great energy to be channeled in the time in such a time, and to be focused towards riding change with joy and ease. So it says if you wanted a companion stone or metal for this, it recommends serpentine. I do feel like either you've been stagnating or resisting change or holding on to something from the past here, where perhaps you were slow to wake up to this. It's like the animals are here. Again, maybe animals are behaving strangely around you. It's like the animals are here as almost like messengers to, whether that's in dreams or in your reality, animals are acting strangely or differently. And it's like a sign for you to pay attention here. It's like they're trying to wake you up. They're trying to make you see something. Like they're trying to wake you up. Maybe your animals keep waking you up. And you're like, why are you waking me up? It's like they're trying to make you see something or realize something about some sort of change that's coming in. Because you can use it as, you can't resist it. The change is going to happen. So if you wake up and embrace the change, I feel like it's going to be more beneficial for you. It's like it's there. I always say, like, it came through in a Gemini reading where you can see this great big planet that's drawing close to it. Maybe it's like Anunnaki for some of you. Maybe you've been looking up Anunnaki stuff, but it's like this big planet is coming into your environment. It's like the energy's there. There's this magnetic pull, right, with this attraction card. It's like you see the similarity. It's like this energy looming. Again, it could just be some sense of to kind of ground it in our reality. It could be some kind of change on the horizon, some kind of change at work, a change in the way things are done, a change in the perspective of people around you. This feels like the animals are trying to they notice it first. It's like, I don't think this is true, but they say that cows lie down when there's going to be rain. And it's that kind of energy of like, they're giving me Phil Collins, I can feel it in the air tonight. It's like the animals realize first. The animals sense the shift. They sense the change in the temperature or the change in the energy of the environment first. My hands have gone really funny. So it's like they're more sensitive to it. They see it coming, so they're trying to warn you. It's like, sometimes like, the postman's walking up the street, the dog will suddenly run to the door. Like, you didn't know the postman was walking up the street, but they've got different senses and they can hear it. And then the postman knocks on the door. So it's like they, or, even like the canaries, I was drawn to the canary. It's like how miners used to take the canaries down into the mine. And if the canary passed out, then they knew that the air was bad and they'd have to get out of there quick. So it's like the animals are the early warning signal. They're trying to wake you up. They're trying to make you see this energy, this looming change that's going to happen. And then it's like they're there to help. They're there to help you push in this change, this new energy. They're there to help you. It's almost like these planets are being drawn together. So there's this, like, you have to like change the course of the planet, like almost like what's that thing? I can only get the song. I can stay awake just to hear you breathing. What is it? Armageddon, when there's the planet coming in and they have to like divert it. I don't want to scare anyone. It's metaphorical, right? Yeah, okay. So the animals are trying to wake you up or get you to pay attention to something. There's a change on the horizon. It's looming. It's getting closer. And there's some sort of action that needs to be taken on your part. I want to say there's opportunity for growth, but again, it comes in, look, growth and abundance. It's like, chaos is a ladder. Look, she's got the fox in her arms again. There's 2 different decks and she's got a fox in her arms. So there's something to do with that, something to do with the fox. Like, again, look, unexpected. You don't see it coming. But there's a huge opportunity for like abundance and growth here. But you have to see it because you don't see it. It's like you sense it, or you sense the animals before you see what this is. And then it's like there's going to be movement. This talks to me about uprooting. It's going to be time for a change. So tell me about the animals. So something about being trapped. And then this is instinct. So your thoughts, your logical mind traps you. So you need to use your instinct to be more like the animals, where you sense things before your reality confirms it. It's like trust your gut here. And then the Six of Fire is like it's actually success. It's the Six of Wands, which is success, being in the spotlight, reward, recognition, people cheering you on. But I feel like it's almost telling me, almost like the Six of Swords energy. Yeah, it's like the Six of Swords. Don't get stuck in your own head. Look here, the Nine of Air, Eight of Air. Don't get stuck in your own thoughts. Don't trust your instincts here, because your instincts can sense something that your thoughts, your logical, rational mind can't. So just noticing this like ball again, like this orb that's representing this thing on the horizon. So I'm reading it as the Six of Swords, which is a card about moving on, mentally moving on. But you're not being asked to mentally move on here. You're being asked to move on instinctively. Okay, move on instinctively. Let the animals guide you, right? Because I know it sounds crazy, especially right to a Taurus. I mean, maybe not. You're Earth sign, right? You're probably very one with nature. Tell me about, what does the planet represent? What is this looming change? Queen of Earth. So, Queen of Earth, it could be your energy. It's typically Capricorn, but it could very, very easily be you. Could also represent somebody in your life who's like wife, mother, boss, somebody in a position of wealth and authority, somebody who's very skilled, somebody who's very nurturing, dependable. So it could be that this person, it could be like a boss or a mother, somebody who's instigating a change. It doesn't feel like you. It doesn't feel like, it could be you. Take it if it feels like you, but it feels like it's this. You see the colours. It's like this is. I'll give you what they're giving me. They're giving me pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. They're giving me a man of wealth and taste. It's like I feel like this is somebody coming towards you. It's like this is the energy coming in. Can you tell me more about? This energy coming in? Just noticing stags. So like the antlers. So that's like leadership energy, emperor energy. There is a change coming in. There is something being like ushered in. Some kind of change. It is to rebalance. It is to make fair. It is to balance things out. Like balance the workload. Make something equal. It's like equality. Although, is equality here? No, I'm not seeing it. Feels like it's coming in with opportunities again. It's like you could take these opportunities. Again, it's like there's wealth here. So this Nine of Water is the Nine of Cups. It talks about making yourself happy from within, finding your inner happiness, not being codependent in any way, not being like, I had a bad day because this person said this. It's like, yeah, I had a great day. This person said this, but that's on them. You know, that's part of their own work that they're doing. So there's a difference in mindset there, which comes from having inner growth, emotional growth, where your energy is your energy, and you understand that your energy is your energy, and you don't control other people's actions or behaviors. You know, we only have personal autonomy. You know, it's not for us to control others. And so when you start to see yourself as separate from the people and the events and the circumstances around you, it's much easier to be like, no, I'm good, my energy's good, I had a nice breakfast, you know, there's some stuff going on at work, but I just ignored it, I stuck my headphones in, I just got on with my work. You know, it's like it's easier then to see yourself as like not emotionally affected by others, and it leads to a place where when you're emotionally stable, you're in a much better position to because your vibration's high, to attract wealth and good fortune to you. So it's like first comes Oh, that's funny, they're giving me, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby in the baby carriage. But that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say first comes like the Nine of Cups, and then comes like the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like you get emotionally stable, and then because you're in a good vibration, you know, you're reliable. Perhaps again, somebody could be Aries, Taurus, cusp. You attract wealth and abundance to you because you're capable of handling it. You know, people could give you the best job in the world. You know, they could be like, here, have this position at work. But if you're all emotionally unbalanced, you're not going to do it very well. So emotionally stable, then you're in a better position to take the offers and opportunities that come your way. So, Taurus, what is this action and change? It feels again like there's something to do with like you help, like you're ushering this in, or you assist, or you're being assisted, because it's like you're not aware of it, and then it comes into you with that Queen of Pentacles energy, and then you're like part of the team then, like making this change. Could again be part of the collective energy. We're all independent. We see ourselves as one chess piece on the chessboard, if you like. You can't control the other pieces, but you can control your own energy. But your energy also affects the whole board. You know, the choices that you make change the game. So, High Priestess. Woo, look at that cosmic energy. That is like starseed energy. So High Priestess and the Star. So you are being asked to use your intuition at this time, to be in that very, very high vibrational, stable, like higher self energy, higher self, higher awareness. The High Priestess doesn't really talk though. She keeps things to herself. So you're helping to usher in a change, but you are doing it very intuitively, perhaps actually almost like psychically, cosmically, like working with the collective energy, if you want to see it that way. If that's not for you, that's absolutely fine. I can ground this. So doing something based on your emotions, based on your own inner knowing about what you're being guided to do here. Having a lot of faith, a lot of hope for the future after this change is implemented. It does feel otherworldly, you know. A lot of the cards in this feels like this is like it feels like cosmic starseed energy, right? It feels like you know, I mentioned the Anunnaki, you know, maybe go and look that up. I think I might go and refresh my memory of that, you know, when I finish this reading. It's definitely kind of like conspiracy theory territory. So, you know, take that as you will. It's just something to look at. Yeah, it's like part of this. If it was grounded, if it's like 3D reality, like basic stuff that might be happening to you, because a lot of the time it is. A lot of the time the energy comes through as like a high, like a kind of a cloudy image, and then it actually plays out very differently in your life. And the amount of times I've got something through and I'm like, oh my god, what is that? And then it turns out to be a TV show that I watch, and I'm like, right, okay, I predicted that TV show. I think I did it with Wonder Woman, you know, Wonder Woman 1984 the other day, where I was just like, I did that reading and it sounded amazing, and it was just telling me that I was going to watch this film tonight, basically. So yeah, this would be like, there's a big change at work. Instinctively, you know it's going to happen. Trust your instincts. You may find yourself in the spotlight or in a position where you can influence things, but maybe keep your mouth shut a little bit. You don't have to blab all your secrets to everybody, because if you did, everybody would go for that opportunity. This is like, keep your mouth shut, because you're in a better position to get that opportunity. If I was going to read it on a down to earth level, if we get back down to earth, it could involve global travel, it could involve the internet, perhaps you work on the internet, perhaps you're promoting something on the internet. But again, look at it's almost like the planets are lining up. That could be a metaphor, you know, things are lining up for you, things are finally coming into synchronicity where doors can be unlocked for you. But it does feel like an alignment of planets. It feels very planetary, which doesn't feel like typical Taurus energy. But do you know what, we're gonna go with what the cards give me. So let's get you some advice then. Taurus Tuesday. What's the advice for Taurus Tuesday? Hidden depths. What's the underlying? Music. Again, you've got symphony here. Music. Again, could be connecting with Aries energy. There's definitely a spillover there. Listen carefully because there may be messages in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. The funny thing is, because it's like Taurus, you could just be, it happens to me so often, you could be thinking about something and a song will give you the answer to the question. Or you might be thinking, it happened to me this morning. I can't for the life of me think which song it was or anything, but my son was watching something on the TV and it said something on the TV and in the song I was listening to at the same time. And it happens constantly. So when I first started feeling like the universe was talking to me, and I was like, am I sure about this? Often songs would be part of that for me. I just went quiet there. I was thinking about Capricorn's reading this week and their song, and I think I'm redoing their reading, but the song was like, it was one of those where you're thinking, seriously? But so completely distracted now. I'd ask, like, is this real? Is this really happening to me? Is the universe communicating with me through music? And I'd get The Universal's Here by Blur, that'd be the next song that played. Or I'd think, I remember asking once, this is the whole point of why I'm telling you this story. I remember asking once, right, give me a song then. Who is communicating with me? Who's sending me these songs? Where is this energy coming from? And it played Starman by David Bowie. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's coming from the stars. We beam music out into space. Are we really surprised if at some point they beam something back to us? That's how the internet works. That's how music gets beamed around the world, right? It's through satellites. So yeah, maybe that's how, if we want to go there, if we're going to go there in this reading, Taurus, come on this journey with me. If something was communicating with us through music, is it really that surprising? Because we beam music out into the universe. Is it really that surprising that if there were something out there, that it would hear that and it would be like, what is this? And then maybe they're like, hey, we really like this David Bowie guy, let's send that song back to them. They say maths is the universal language, but music speaks to the soul. Does maths speak to the soul? No. Maybe, I don't know. It's not for me to tell you what speaks to your soul, but anyway, something hidden is about to come to light, perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. That's interesting because you have got the High Priestess, which is secretive, and the Star, which is in the limelight. So something interesting there with that. Taurus, I hope this was helpful to you. Do go and listen to some music. See if it makes you think of anything. See if it gives you any guidance. Maybe if you've got some sort of question on your mind, do what I do. Go to Spotify or whatever streaming service you use, and so ask your question, randomize a song, really focus on that question and see if the answer's in the song. You never know, it might just work for you. Do take care, Taurus. Share with your friends if you think you've got any Taurus friends who need to hear that. Give me a like, let me know if anything particularly resonated. If you do that, if you do randomise a song, I would love if you would post in the description box what song you got. You don't even have to tell me what the question was, just tell me the song, because I'd find that really entertaining. But if you don't want to do that, totally respect that. Stealth watchers, always welcome, as usual. Do take care, Taurus, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.